Hello, thank you so much for joining me here today. I wanted to share with you 5 common misconceptions about Montessori. And I want to start out by noting that each school is different. As in anything you approach with life, it is very important that you take it on a case-by-case basis. My trainer said that all the time. It was so cute. We were always repeating after him, case-by-case basis. So 5 of the common misconceptions are that Montessori is an unstructured environment, and that Montessori is a chaotic environment, that Montessori is affiliated with religion, that Montessori encompasses something that is often referred to in the Montessori community as Monta-something, where it's not an authentic Montessori environment. And then the 5th one is that Montessori is only focused on preschool, that it only helps children who are, 2 to 4 years old, 4 years old, the preschool area of life. So let's talk about the first one. Montessori comes across as unstructured to a lot of people because they may only get a small snapshot of the classroom. And if you're looking at the classroom for only a short period of time, you're going to see children working independently all over the room. They're going to be chatting quietly amongst themselves. They're going to be eating snack in one area of the room. They're going to be pulling materials out off of the shelves. They may accidentally spill the material and they clean it up themselves, or their friends come and clean it up. There may be a child who's upset in the room, sitting and feeling sad, possibly crying, and the adults may not be attending to that child because it's that child's own choice as to when he or she wants to enter the classroom, begin receiving lessons, become part of the group. So it looks like an unstructured environment, where in reality, if you observe for a longer period of time and you have a conversation with the teacher, you'll find that there's a lot going on in the background of the classroom that a lot of parents and families are not aware of. The teacher, for instance, is taking a significant amount of notes. They're doing a significant number of observations while they're giving lessons. Sometimes you sit in a chair and you observe from a certain part of the room, different areas of the room, so you can get different perceptions. And the teacher is checking to see where the child is on each of his or her lessons, so that they're prepared, so that that teacher is prepared to give a lesson again, or to check that work off in their notes, knowing that that child has mastered that lesson and they're prepared for the next one. This leads us right into chaos. This is why people believe that Montessori is chaotic, because they may hear a child crying. They may hear a loud noise as a child accidentally drops the movable alphabet, for instance, and then begins cleaning it up. They may hear a child making a very loud announcement, because the children are in little independent leaders within the classroom, and they make the announcements for the day. In an ideal Montessori classroom, you're going to find the children leading a lot of what's going on and the teacher giving lessons. That's a primary reason why it's 3 to 6 year olds in the same classroom. You've got 3 and 4 year olds acting as little apprentices, and the 5 and 6 year olds are acting as mentors. It is a phenomenally beautiful thing to observe. I highly recommend that if you have not observed a Montessori classroom yet, go and observe one. It's It's a beautiful thing to watch. Let's get on to the third thing. So a lot of people, when I say Montessori, they say, oh, monastery. No, it's not a monastery. And a lot of people say, oh yeah, I know that one. It's affiliated with religion. Maria Montessori, I believe, don't quote me on this, and let me know, make a comment if you know. I believe she was raised Catholic. And so there's, the catechisms. I'm trying to remember how to say it. There's an area within the Catholic religion where they give Montessori lessons, and they meet with a small group of children and do a little bit of Montessori. However, Montessori is an Italian method of education, simply because Maria Montessori is Italian. So it was founded in Italy, and it doesn't have anything to do with religion, because in an ideal Montessori, I keep using that word ideal because every Montessori school is different, but in an ideal Montessori environment, you will see the director or directress, that's what we call them, they're guides for the children, the lead teachers basically. You will see the director or directress giving lessons on a number of religions, because Montessori's approach to education was based on cosmic education. So you start on the outside, on the peripheral, and you work your way to the inside. So for instance, you would talk about religions around the world, all throughout. Look, it's the world, the peripheral and the world. Religions all around the world. And then you hone in on a particular religion. So as the director or directress, he or she will know their families within their classroom, and they may bring in a child's family so that that family can talk to the rest of the class about their religion. For instance, if you have a Jewish family in your class, they can bring in some objects that are associated with their religion, such as a menorah, and talk about the history of their religion. Talk about some of the important people in their religion, when their religion was founded, talk about Hebrew, the languages associated with their religion, Hebrew and Yiddish, and talk about a lot of different components that make up their religion. The children can do presentations on the religion that their families practice in. It's such a great opportunity. It's such a beautiful building block for research and lessons. And so one of the fourth areas that people, I'm trying to remember. I didn't write them down this time. One of the fourth things that people presume is that it's preschool. They always assume that Montessori schools are limited to all 2-year-olds, or 2 to 4-year-olds, or 3 and 4-year-olds. And some people have observed that it's similar to that of a daycare environment. And daycares such as Child Time and Sunrise Preschool, and some of the kiddie care, some of the daycare learning centers that you'll see out there have environments such as only twos, or almost walking, or potty trained, or almost potty trained, or our all threes room or all fours room. And so they assume that Montessori is similar to that when it's not. In an ideal Montessori environment, you have 3 to 6-year-olds working in the same room. So you ideally would like kindergarten and first grade within that room. And the children are participating together. They're learning teamwork. They're learning to give one another lessons without necessarily directly giving the lesson. Some of the teachers you'll find allow the children to give lessons, because as long as they're not hurting themselves or hurting the materials, you don't interrupt the child. It's important that they be able to blossom and follow their light of their own accord. So oftentimes you will see children either watching another child working on the materials and learning how to use that material, or a 5 or 6 year old actually giving a lesson, and it's beautiful to watch. So bear with me one moment, we're going to take a short break.